The Breastfeeding Art Expo is about educating people who need to consider and take a look at breastfeeding, whether they be moms, new dads, the support givers for those people, as well as the general public. It's about creating that education in an environment that helps people to stop and think. But if we can be inspired to look at things in a different and more beneficial way through the use of art, then it can be a very powerful medium to educate.
Usually they started out with participants coming in and giving the artists something about themselves. So a story or imagery or just writing down words or some sort of input. And then the artist would take that input and create their work around that.
From paper mache to more abstract pieces like plate breaking, and also as far as poetry and interpretive dance. Starting these projects, I didn't know where the extent of the Art Expo would end. And so far, I'm constantly being surprised.
Essentially what my job was taking the footage from the art projects and all the interviews we did with the artists and helping them tell the stories of how they arrived at that particular project and what they were hoping to teach people and just how they think about breastfeeding in general.
We can see how great a project this really is. It covers so many different types of artistic medium, from the spoken word to traditional mediums that people will think of when they think of art, to even video production. We've been working with so many different artists that it needs a lot of time, especially over the vast geographic area that interior health covers. And so we've worked with 16 different artists covering many different communities, from the Kootenays all the way up to Williams Lake. So that's covering up a geographic region of about half the province.
It's been interesting to interview people about the topic of breastfeeding because it's always been such a normal thing in my family that's just what you do, and it's been interesting to hear about how different cultures, specifically Native cultures, were sort of pushed to the formula right off the bat, and how there was definitely a major push away from breastfeeding and towards formula, and that was very interesting to me.
I have some friends with kids that we'd be out at a restaurant and she'd just start breastfeeding there in the restaurant.
I've heard of a lot of stories of people, being pushed out of restaurants or been told to go do it in the bathroom or something like that. I've never actually witnessed that myself, but I think that it's happening more than I thought. So it's definitely something that people need to start talking about more.
There's a whole lot more education that needs to happen to expectant parents about the importance and the benefits of breastfeeding.
Encouragement towards breastfeeding, to maybe just feel more comfortable looking into it and hopefully destigmatize it.
I think the science is there, and it's one of those things that's hard to deny that, if you want healthy, happy babies, it's breastfeeding.